welcome to WeekNGeek, your new comic preview for May 5th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
I am the Chris Brown.
So what do you got this week?
Well, you know what, Mike? We usually do our top pick first, and then we get through and we get to the big stack afterwards. Let's try and keep people hanging around a little bit longer this week. We're going to do the stack first, and then I'll get you to my top pick.
Sounds
You're going to have
good.
to stick around for 15 minutes.
Stick around.
So I'm gonna lead with the Fear Itself stuff. I was a little bit shaky on the first issue. I just wanted more. Now we've got the second issue here, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. You know, it looks like we've got Juggernaut and the Hulk with hammers on the cover here.
Crazy hammers.
Dude, who doesn't love crazy hammers?
It's hammer time.
Huh, stop, huh. Good thing nobody has big pants.
Yeah.
Then we got the Fear Itself Spider-Man. I am not a huge fan of Chris Yost. A lot of the stuff that I've read, I've not really liked very much. He comes from a cartoon background, and everybody says that he might be a really great person in the idea meetings. I think when he's writing these individual issues, though, there's just something that doesn't work for me. But it's Spider-Man, so we'll see. Maybe that'll make me more critical. Maybe it'll be that I like it more than some of the other things I've read because I don't care about Young X-Men.
Mike McCone, though. He's always good.
Is he? Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I think I met him at one of the cons last year. Then we got the second issue of Herc. I liked that first issue. I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, he's getting down with the Hobgoblin. Let's see where it goes. It's the second senses-shattering issue, so that should be fun. Then we got Heroes for Hire, which I have absolutely been loving. I really, really like this book. This is going to be the first part of the next story arc, and because Spider-Man's the new Wolverine, apparently Paladin's going after Spider-Man. He's got to be in every single book. He does have a clone, so that helps.
Yeah.
Even if we're pretending like that doesn't happen.
Wait, Wolverine does have a clone, X-23.
But it's his daughter.
Yeah.
See, but she's got her own book, too.
Yeah.
And then Dakin, he's got his own book, too.
At least Spider-Man doesn't have kids, except for Spider-Girl.
She's in a whole new universe.
Yeah.
So that we don't even have to worry about
Anyway.
that. Then we got Proof, which I also love. I think this cover looks fantastic. I'm really excited about this. Once we get through this Endangered series, then they're going to start the second season as they're billing it. I think Proof is amazing. It's a book about a Bigfoot working for the CIA tracking cryptozoological creatures. How do you not love a Bigfoot tracking cryptozoological creatures? You're communist if you don't. That's the only thing I think. Communism. Careful. Then House of Mystery. House of Mystery's been great. It's kind of taken a different direction the last few issues, kind of building another story. They got through all the stuff they were doing with Fig, and now kind of going to the next place. I like this book. I think Matthew Sturges is a very, very capable and talented writer. Yeah, fun book. House of Mystery 22 this week, or 27 this week, 37.
One of those.
I'm looking at the wrong numbers. I'm looking at 21 of Sweet Tooth, and I got confused. So then we got Sweet Tooth. This is a book we talk about every week. I talk about it, well, every month. I really like it. I'm curious to see where it's going. Last issue was pretty fun and kind of ended on a weird cliffhanger, so we're going to see what's going to happen here. Good stuff. Little kid with antlers. Then Superboy 7. He just got past the Doomsday stuff.
Another Jeff Lemire.
Another Jeff Lemire. Yeah, we like Jeff Lemire. It's weird. We're all up on some of these dudes now. Yeah, Jeff Lemire and
Jeff
Nick
Lemire
Spencer
is the new Scott Snyder. Who is the new Jonathan Hickman?
I'm good with that. Yeah, I like that. Then one I'd like to mention here, we got the Walking Dead Survivor's Guide. Kind of like those old Marvel handbooks you used to get
Good
when
stuff.
you were a kid. Fun stuff. Most of the people who've been picking it up from me were saying, they're like, Chris, you should tell everybody else that this is fun. Dan Veal, one of my regulars, had said, he's like, you gotta tell people to pick it up because it's really informational and it really kind of keeps you up to speed. And, oh, that's right. I forgot that happened.
Yeah, a little refresher, and even if you know the stuff, there's just something fun about reading these kind of handbook guides.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it feeds into our nerdness, I think. And we are nerds.
And it's alphabetical.
Yes, yeah, we're on C to H, from Chris to Heath at this point. Then, before I leave my cliffhanger of my, you're already making faces. He's already making faces. Axe Cop 3 of 3.
And then.
It's not as bad when it's not Robert Kirkman. When it's a for real 6-year-old, I'm okay with it.
I saw that they talked about this on CNN.
The Axe Cop, really?
Yeah.
How about that? We are almost CNN.
Mm-hmm. Or CN.
Comic news.
Comic news.
Look
We
at
have a
that.
new name. We're going to register that right after the show.
Comic news. So yeah, we Bad Guy Earth Part 3 of 3, fun stuff. And what we got? Ethan Nicoel is actually coming to Fanfare.
Oh wow!
Detroit Fan Fair in September 24th and 25th. So that'll be fun. You know, X-Cop's getting a good buzz, and Detroit will have him. Literally Detroit. Cobo Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, what do you have this week?
Well, this week I'm starting off with the Green Lantern Super Spectacular. This is a magazine-sized...
Looks pretty spectacular.
Yeah, magazine-sized book. It's all reprints of existing stuff. It's a good sampler. Pretty much Marvel has flooded the market with Captain America and Thor. This is DC getting a little bit of that. The magazine format, I'm sure, is to get it into newsstands, get it into borders, things like that. It's a good introduction to the Green Lantern character. I have everything in here in at least one, if not 5, different formats already.
A little bigger than that magazine format.
A little bit bigger, a little bit...
and there's a movie coming out, so...
It's got a cool ad on the back for the video game, which I'll get also.
You probably don't even have the system it's for.
I have a Wii.
Oh, okay, all right.
Next up is Deadpool Annual 1. This is the first Deadpool comic that I will have gotten since like the original miniseries.
Okay.
The only reason I'm getting this picks up where the Amazing Spider-Man Annual left off, the Identity Wars story that's being written by Jonathan Lehman. I would not be buying this at all if it wasn't for Jonathan Lehman. The first issue was pretty good. Not quite sure where they're going with it. Some alternate reality stuff is going on. But I figure I'll drink the Kool-Aid and try a little Deadpool just like everybody else.
Kids love the Deadpool.
They do. Next up, along with Fear Itself and Fear Itself Spider-Man, there's Fear Itself Homefront. This, like we had discussed last time, I thought it was going to be similar to the Frontline.
Right.
It's actually an anthology book. But the first issue was pretty good. I mean, there's several stories in there. With any anthology, you're going to have some good, you're going to have some bad. Right. The lead story with Speedball going back to Stamford, Connecticut to do volunteer work undercover was pretty good. They find out that he's not hiding out, but he's volunteering in this town. The town who he nearly destroyed in Civil War. They all kind of turn on him. See where it goes from there. Next up is the DC Comics Presents Son of Superman. This was originally a hardcover graphic novel, then a trade paperback, and now DC is putting it out in this fantastic $7.99 format. I mean, this used to be a $25 book.
Wow.
I love that they're doing that. I love that they're taking some of their old graphic novels. I debated buying this in a paperback format. Written by Howard Shakeman and David Tishman with fantastic art by J.H. Williams III.
His stuff is amazing.
It's older, so it's a little bit different than the stuff that you're used to now. I've always wanted to check this out, and now DC's given me a very, very affordable way to do it.
Yeah, those DC Comic Presents are great. They're like half a trade paperback.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's a great, and I try to get them whenever I can just to support that format.
Well, and unlike Marvel, where they'll just reprint it in another, what is it? God Loves, Man Kills, the Chris Claremont X-Men story. They just put it out again in a trade paperback.
Or a hardcover or something.
Yeah, well, last week it was in a trade paperback. Yeah. And DC, on the other hand, will go, you know what? We're just going to put this in. We've already reprinted it multiple times.
Let's make it cheap.
Make it cheap.
Out there. Next up is X-Men Prelude to Schism #1. I was a little iffy on this. It's a #1. I'm not sure where this Schism thing is going to go. I'm getting a little tired of these sort of ongoing new status quos for X-Men. As I think we've said many times, pick a status quo and stick with it for a little while.
Right.
Written by Paul Jenkins, who at times is brilliant and at times is horrible. Drawn by Roberto De La Torre, who did some Daredevil stuff. He did some Iron Man stuff. So the artwork is really nice in this. I'll give it a shot. If it wows me, I'll stick with Schism. If not, this will probably be the last issue I get. On a similar vein, we've got Captain America, the First Avenger, First Vengeance. This was originally a digital comic that was you could get from Marvel.com. It's basically a prequel to the Captain America movie because, like we said, Marvel just won't stop putting out Captain America and Thor stuff.
Right.
Next up, Uncanny X-Force. Go back and watch every other Week in Geek and hear me talk about this. This is the team, blah, blah, blah. They kill people, blah, blah, blah. It's not like it used to be, blah, blah, blah.
Best X-Men book going right now, blah, blah, blah. That's what I hear over and over again from my regulars.
Annihilators, again, not as many times in the past. I love the Marvel Cosmic. The interesting thing about this is, people are always going on and on about these days about how they wish Rom would come back. I read Rom. I was never really into it. This basically is picking up from that series. The Dire Wraiths
so
are in
the
it.
Space Knights.
The Space Knights are in it. If you're one of these people who are jonesing for the reprint of Rom that will never ever come, pick up Annihilators and get Rom with a little Silver Surfer and Beta Ray Bill and Ronan the Accuser and
Rocket
and
Raccoon
Groot.
backup story.
I am Groot. You are Groot. We are all Groot. Jennifer Blood, Garth Ennis, with a lot of sex and violence and swearing and all the fun things that he is very good at. You can tell he's having fun with this. The suburban mom by day and I guess assassin by night. Not an original
Sounds like Long
story.
Kiss Goodnight.
This is a little bit funnier.
Okay.
It's Long Kiss Goodnight if Garth Ennis had written it.
Okay.
How about that? Next up, Irredeemable. This book is kind of on the upswing for me again.
Okay.
There are times when it sort of slows down a little bit, and it's set all the pieces in place, and now those pieces are starting to do their thing. And,
Okay.
There's a mystery. There's a new character. Who is he? What does he want? The Plutonian is trapped in the heart of a star. When he gets out of there, stuff's going to go down.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's pretty much the bulk of my stack. So what's your top pick?
My top pick this week, believe it or not, this is crazy talk. I'm really excited about Moon Knight #1. I was so upset with Shadowland and the things they were doing, but I thought the street level stuff they were doing was good. And I read the Moon Knight story and I thought it was all right. And then now they're giving Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Mayleave on Moon Knight. Okay. I mean, we've had this, and we've even talked about this on the Zod Complex. Is there a such thing as a bad character, or are there just bad writers? Can a character that you may not care about, can he be awesome with the right creative team? I think there are some creative teams that have shown us that that's exactly the case. Yeah. And while I couldn't possibly care less about Moon Knight, I'm excited to read it because I'll look at almost anything Alex Mayleave draws. I think his stuff is fantastic. And I really like Bendis' storytelling. So I'm excited about Moon Knight #1. Go hit your local retailer and pick that one
I'm
up.
excited for that too. I unlike you, I've been a fan of Moon Knight for
Okay.
a long, long time. I think the
So you and like 5 other guys.
yeah, I'm the guy. Going back to the Bill Sienkiewicz stuff, and from what I understand, Bendis on Moon Knight, Sienkiewicz transformed from being a standard comic book artist Neil Adams clone to being the first steps of the Bill Sienkiewicz we have today. It's where he went from being comic book artist to artist, and apparently Bendis has kind of challenged Mayleave to step up in a similar manner. So let's see if he's up to the task.
I bet he is.
I think so.
So what do you got there?
My top pick is Delirium's Party, a Little Endless Storybook. It's cute.
Jill Thompson's awesome.
It's great artwork by Jill Thompson, that beautiful painted style. This is, I guess, a sequel, a continuation of the original Little Endless Storybook.
Okay.
It's Sandman, Death, Dream, Destiny, Destruction, all of the Endless, reimagined as cute little kids. And this one's all about delirium. It's always fun to go back to this universe, even if it is, done in sort of a kid's format. And Jill Thompson always does a fantastic job with it.
Yes.
She probably has the best handle on this outside of Neil Gaiman, which I think is a pretty tremendous compliment. It's a hardcover book. It's not cheap. The original one was a hardcover as well. Similar design.
It was like $14.99?
Yeah, they'll look nice on a shelf together. And if you loved Sandman and you want to see those characters again, this is how you do it.
Right on. Well,
So-
that, not a super huge week this week.
No, a little bit of breathing room.
Yep, and I believe that is your Weekend Geek.